RKBBM in the class of economics. Today we will discuss about the class 10 chapter 1 development economics, and first of all we would like to know about the meaning of the development. The meaning of development is the development applied to all round development of a country. All round development of a country here means we cannot measure the development of a country only on the basis of GDP, which is gross domestic product or national income. There are some other criteria on the basis of which we compare the different countries or the development of a country. So, in addition to gross development product means GDP, in addition to GDP, we also look at the development of the educational system in the country, health facility in the country, and many other criteria on the basis of like net attendance ratio, infant mortality rate which is related to the health status, and the life expectancy, that is living standard of the people in a particular country. These factors are giving positive result and progressive result. It means country is developing on the basis of these factors. Second point is here we will discuss about the different people and different goals. Students, we know that in our country there is diversity on the basis of income, diversity on the basis of language, diversity on the basis of region, diversity on the basis of religion, caste or creed, and therefore we know that the different people have different goals for the development of their own. Like farmers have some developmental goals, like farmers want irrigation facility from the government, and farmers also want chemical fertilizers or organic fertilizer also they want for the development, for the production of the crop in their land. Whereas a laborer has other developmental goals, like they want to earn more wages in a day if they are daily wage earner. Then like this we can say that the different people have different goals in our country. Next point is income and other goals. In addition to income, the people also want equal treatment, freedom, education, security, respect for their job, peace, pollution-free environment, better quality of life. These are also goals the people want in any country or state. Point is national development. We will discuss about this national development. That this national development means for a while we have discussed about these different goals of the people in the country. Here, if we look at the goal of the trader will want the product at a lower cost, and always they want to sell it at a higher price in order to get the profit in their business. And therefore, now we will discuss about the teachers, the goal of a teacher. A teacher always wants a good infrastructure in the school in order to teach the students in the school. Therefore, we can see that the different people have different goals related to the national development. If we discuss about the national development, then we find that different people have different goals in our country. Students, in the last video we discussed about the development, and up to the point national development, and the different people have different goals in a country, and we now move on to the next topic, which is comparison of countries or state. We will discuss about the comparison of countries through per capita income. Through per capita income, it means the different countries or different states have different per capita income, and therefore on the basis of per capita income we compare that the different a country is more GDP, higher GDP than the other countries, or a state has more GDP, more per capita income than other states, and therefore on the basis of this per capita income we can say that we can compare that different countries or state, and we can say that the given particular state or country is richer than other states or countries. Now the second point is comparison through national income, that is GDP, gross domestic product. On the basis of gross domestic product, we also compare different countries or different states, and a particular country or particular state has more GDP than other countries or states, then we can say that the particular country or state is richer than the other states or other countries. Now, students, we now move on to the next topic, which is World Bank report on per capita income. World Bank publishes World Development Report, according to which we compare different countries. That if, according to the World Bank report, if a country has per capita income more than, here it is given here, if a country has per capita income more than $12,616, then we can say that the given country is rich countries, and the other criteria is poor countries. On the basis of this per capita income, which is $1,035, if a country has per capita income of people in the country equal to $1,035 or less than this, then we can say that the country is poor country. Students, till now we discussed about the comparison of different countries or states on the basis of income or per capita income. But we should know that there are some other criteria in addition to the income or per capita income. We can compare different countries on the basis of which these criteria are the infant mortality rate per 1,000 live births. Second criterion is literacy rate in percent. Third criteria is net attendance ratio. Here we have taken example of 3 states, and we will discuss about this. We will try to explain or compare these states on the basis of these factors, which are infant mortality rate, literacy rate, net attendance ratio. Students, you can have a look at this data. Here we have taken the example of this Maharashtra, Kerala and Bihar. When we look at the data of this infant mortality rate, this is per 1,000 life, this is 25 here, whereas the infant mortality rate in Kerala is 12, and Bihar has infant mortality rate at the level of 43. Then we can see that the infant mortality rate is highest in Bihar and the lowest in Kerala. And the Maharashtra has this moderate figure at 25. Now we will discuss about this literacy rate here. Here if we have a look at this Maharashtra, then this is 82%. Means literacy rate in Maharashtra is 82%, and in Kerala this is 94%, and in Bihar this is 62%. We can also have a look at this figure, and we can say that the literacy rate is highest in the state of Kerala, whereas this is lowest in the state of Bihar. Now we will have a look at this net attendance ratio. In Maharashtra this is 64, for Kerala this is 78, and for Bihar this is 35. Then we can compare easily that the Kerala has highest net attendance ratio in the year 2009-10, whereas the Bihar has the lowest net attendance ratio. Although we have already discussed about the per capita income on the basis of which we compare different countries or states, but here we have some data. When we have a look at this per capita income, then we find that Maharashtra has the highest, which is in rupees 1,07,670 rupees per capita income is given here for the state of Maharashtra. Whereas we have a look at the state Kerala, then we find that the annual income per capita annual income of the people in the state of Kerala is 88,527, whereas this figure for the state of Bihar, where the per capita income is 28,774, and we can easily compare it that the Bihar has the lowest per capita income, whereas Maharashtra has the highest per capita income. Till now we have discussed about the comparison of different countries or states on the basis of income and other criteria, and those other criteria are infant mortality rate, literacy rate, net attendance ratio, etc. We will move on to the next topic, which is public facilities. Public facilities means the health center given by the government, the institution provided by the government, the park, road, railways. These are public facilities which are by the government. Now students, we must know about the public facilities, that these are given by the government and we cannot create a school or health center at our home to teach our children, because for an individual family a school cannot be set up. For an individual family a health center cannot be set up, and therefore these are public facilities which are given by the government and we enjoy these facilities. Now we will move on to the next topic, which is a part of this public facilities, is known as the public distribution system. Students, you already know about this public distribution system, which is popularly known as the ration shop, and according to which the government provides food, sugar, kerosene oil through this public distribution system to the people. If we take an example of the Tamil Nadu state, we find that about 75% people of the Tamil Nadu state have ration card and they get food grains or kerosene or sugar from the ration shops. Whereas if we look at the data of the state Jharkhand, only 8% of the people have ration card and they take food ration shops. So there is inequality among the different states in the public distribution system. We should must come apart to these states and we provide this public distribution system or ration cards to the each and every needy people in the different states in our country. Now the students, we move on to the next topic, which is body mass index, and this is body mass index is an index according to which we measure the weight of a people according to their height. If this body mass index is below 18, then we say that the person is underweight and malnourished. Whereas if this body mass index is greater than the 25, we say that the person is overweight. And Now the question is, students, how we can calculate this body mass index? Then the formula is given here before you, that the body mass index equal to weight in kilogram divided by the height in meter square. By using this formula, we can calculate the body mass index in our country. Students, now we move on to the next topic, which is Human Development Report. This Human Development Report published by UNDP, United Nations Development Program, every year on the basis of 3 criteria. The first criterion is living standard, which is per capita income. On the basis of the per capita income or the living standard, we UNDP, United Nations Development Program, calculate this human development index, on the basis of which we can say that the country is better, our given country is better than other country or other state. The second criterion is health status, which gives us life expectancy. Life here, the meaning of life expectancy is the people in a country, in a particular country, how long can live or how long can survive. This is the health status criterion. And the third criterion is educational level of the people, which is this educational level is, if we look at this educational level, we find that the literacy rate and the enrollment ratio of the people in a particular state or in a particular country. Then we can say that this human development report is published by this UNDP, United Nations Development Program, on the basis of these 3 criteria. Students, till now we discussed about the Human Development Report published by United Nations Development Program on 3 criteria, which is living standard, health status, and third is educational level of the people. Now it's the time to move on to the next topic, which is sustainability of development. What is sustainability of development? Means each and every government of a state or country wish to develop country sustainably, and therefore on the basis of this sustainability of development, we can say that we cannot grow or we cannot develop at the cost of the future generation. It means the sustainable development means the natural resources, we know that the natural resources are limited, and therefore we should use it judiciously. Here the meaning of judiciously is we should use these natural resources up to the optimum level, and we should not waste our natural resources, because we know that once the natural resources are exhausted, it cannot be created in a short period of time, and therefore our future generation cannot have any natural resources in order to develop our country. Then this is called sustainability of development. Now we will move on to the next topic, which is environmental degradation and sustainable development. We know that as we grow, as our world grows, industries and factories, and there are different kind of waste are excreted from those factories or industries, and we pollute air and water. Therefore, we have no pure water or air to breathe, and we have no pure water to drink. Then this activity, human economic activity, damage our environment, and therefore the environmental degradation takes place in our country or in the world. And therefore, along with this environmental degradation, our country or our world cannot develop sustainably. Therefore, we must minimize this pollution in order to keep our environment clean. There are two topics. This is groundwater in India is a part of this environmental. As our industry grows, it needs more and more water, and therefore, in the state of Punjab, Haryana, and Western Uttar Pradesh, in addition to these states, the southern plateau of our country, southern plateau, yani central and southern part of the India, has also produced many goods by using the groundwater, and therefore about 40% of the groundwater has reduced in our country. So it's a dangerous for our country, and therefore we should save our groundwater. Now, second topic is exhaustion of natural resources, which is also a part of this environmental degradation and sustainable development. Then exhaustion of natural resources. We have already discussed that our natural resources are limited, and therefore it could be exhausted. It could be exhausted as we are using it very rapid pace, and therefore according to the World Energy Review, which was given in the year 2014, our crude oil reserves, means our petroleum reserve in the world is going to last only for 53 years. Therefore, what we should do in order to develop our country, we should search for an alternative to use the resources, to use the alternative resources in order to develop our country. Students, the notes of this chapter has already been sent to your WhatsApp number, and therefore you should make a fair copy for this. Whenever school is open, I will check out your fair copy, and therefore learn these question and answer. The topic has been given and the questions have been given. You have to answer those questions which have already been given.